Hey, it's me, some rando you probably never heard of that usually makes shitposts. I'm going to talk about anime I watched this year, and you're gonna sit down and listen. Hopefully. Let's go. The Promised Neverland, or Yakusoku no Neverland. Huzzah for the anime that literally everyone watched. I feel bad for not taking it seriously enough, though. I sat there the whole time watching, either trying my best to pay attention or just making wisecracks. What did you expect me to do? Lots of it was long conversations about the mind games going on. I had to entertain myself somehow. And yeah, that makes me sound harsh, but it was tough to attach myself to any of the characters, really. For any anime I like, I have a favorite character, but for this it was just kinda like, oh, well, poor kids, I hope they get out, but I don't really have a favorite. Also, the fact that these kids, these tiny children, are Einstein level smart and could think their way out of pretty much any problem that they encounter is stretching my suspension of disbelief just a little bit. Just a little bit. Especially this fucking 4-year-old who, knew all along. Yeah, spoilers, I guess. He knew all. He's 4! It's confusing and I don't really know what to make of it, but I mean, it was fun watching it with my sister, so yeah. Mob Psycho Season 2! Wait, Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. 102! Aww, yeah. Hey, quick question. Did you cry for Mob when watching episode 6 of Season 1? Yeah? Then get ready for lots and lots of suffering! That being said, this season is really good. It puts Mob to the test more and more, along with Reagan too, surprisingly. Seriously though, get ready to cry, stuff gets really emotional! If you like the first season, this one is more greatness. I'm not really good at analyzing, as you can see, but this video here picks apart the second season's themes, and they're great! My only complaint would probably be the fact that it does the same thing that season 1 does, where it introduces a billion new characters just to fight. But the animation's really good, so it's all good here. Also, that new opening slaps, and that new ending slaps, and fuck. Kaguya-sama Love is War, or Kaguya-sama wa kokurasetai tensai tachi no renai sunozen, but usually just called Kaguya-sama Love is War. I'm a big fan of the comedy here. Something mundane happens, but these two idiots treat it like it's the end of the world, so the stakes are amped up to 11 with a narrator that gives a play-by-play as if we're watching the goddamn Olympics or something. And I'm all for it, honestly. It'd be one thing if I didn't care for the characters, but Kaguya and Shirogane are both really endearing, so for lots of the battles they have, it's tough to pick a side. That, on top of the amazing animation and presentation, makes a really fun watch. I especially love the skit with the line addresses, and I love the skit with the cat ears. That one is just adorable. Also, Kaguya's best girl, don't at me. Fruits Basket. No, not that Fruits Basket, this Fruits Basket. It's the 2019 remake. Fruits Basket Brotherhood, baby! Time for a story! Back when I was younger, I had a group meeting at a local library, but I arrived too early. So I decided to wander around, and a book called Fruits Basket caught my eye. Mostly because I had no idea why someone would call a book Fruits Basket. I started reading it, confused as to why the book was backwards, and I got hooked right away by the comedy and the heart it had. So without skipping a beat, my sisters and I read every volume of it we could and discovered the anime. We'd watch it every day while eating breakfast before school. And that's the story of my first anime. Okay, story time over. Flash forward to 2019, and what do you mean it's getting a complete remake? What reality is this? Oh my god! I never thought I'd see the day, but they're remaking it with intentions to finish the whole manga story this time too. Old fans get to live through the nostalgia of fucking Fruits Basket, and the new fans get to watch the story of the anime and manga they backed away from due to its art style. It's a win-win for everyone. But the cynical part of me wants to have some bone to pick, so the first opening, it's pretty boring and generic sounding, honestly. But the first ending, second opening, and second ending are real standouts, and I love them enough to make up for it. The comedy seems sorta watered down compared to the original anime due to its style, but the voice acting and new ideas got laughs out of me when watching it. The flashback during the episode where Toru moved away is jarring and it really ruins the flow, but I mean, it allowed this to happen. So I can't really complain. And honestly, sometimes the nitpicks like the absence of the Yuki fan club song or the clicking transitions are so minor to the point that it'd be much better to watch both versions side by side to enjoy and take in each one's stylization and uniqueness, but maybe that's just me. So basically, it's a great remake, and it's gonna be a great adaptation of the remaining parts of the manga. It gives nods to the original anime without sacrificing the important story bits the anime left out. The only complaint I have left is one that I have with the series as a whole, and that's Shigure's editor, okay? This character is a mistake, and you can't tell me otherwise. Sarazanmai. Three guys break a kappa statue and call the creature that comes out of it a frog. So after being bored, they get turned into kappas themselves and have to go up into these giant monster butts to take their secret out, but it's at the cost of their own secrets, which they have exposed by synchronized ice skating and... did I lose you there? Yeah, this one's really something. Sarazanmai takes Japanese mythology and weaves a crazy ridiculous story out of it. That's right, kappa taking secret butt balls out your butt is an actual thing that happens in Japanese mythology. What you basically gotta know is that these three get turned into kappa whenever there's a kappa zombie running amok. This kappa zombie is created because of these two, who do a song and dance to extract a corrupted person's desire. So these three kappas do a song and dance to take the monster Shirikodama. The monster's weird secret gets revealed, but with the price of revealing one of the three secrets to the others. And they end up learning about each other as a result of airing out their dirty laundry. Sarazanmai isn't scared of being out there and unusual. Like, it really doesn't give a fuck. But that lets the animation do amazing things. On top of that, these two songs play almost every episode, and they're bops! I don't know what to say about them besides that, but this video explains things really well. Despite all this weirdness, Sarazanmai has a lot of heart and feeling behind it. Each of the main trio has personal secrets that get added to each other in their mission defeating the kappa zombies. One of them killed a guy. Through all the bizarre tasks they have to face as kappas, they grow closer as people. They bond. Dare I say, they connect! Yeah, there's lots of themes going on in this anime, and connecting is in the forefront. Along with themes of love and desire in both pure and twisted forms, and more themes I'm too much of an idiot to tell you about. There's also lots of puns. These two brothers are named Close and Far. The snack shared between Reo and Mabu is Ningyo-yaki, and Mabu gets called a half-baked doll. Speaking of them, their names together kind of sound like real love if you say them a certain way, which fits the fact that they're both in love with each other. The Japanese word for otter is kawauso. And this otter right here is known for being a bitch-ass liar. Kepi, the kappa, always yells kapparae at the trio during the song. Lots of the kappa zombies are associated with words relating to one of the main characters, such as the one with soba, not only referring to Kuji's family's soba shop, but also to the phrase soba ni itai, or I want to be by your side, as his brother has become very distant. Again, puns, close and far. Sada's name literally means dish, as she has one on her head, and she ends her sentences with dish. Okay, I'll stop. I've said it before, but this gets really sad at times, really sad. Why am I crying about butt stuff levels of sad? But it manages to blend its weirdness and heart together without compromising on either one, and it's a really satisfying watch, especially that ending episode. Damn, my favorite part was when Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season, or Araburu Kisetsu no Tomodomo yo. Honeyworks finally has an opening for an anime that isn't trash! Would you look at that, Aoharu died! Better still, this opening seems to be made from the ground up for this series specifically, and it's great. The anime it's attached to is also great. Take notes, Aoharu died! This anime is about a literature club, consisting of 5 girls that read lewd literature in an effort to learn more about that kind of thing. Each one goes through their own ways of learning about the good ol' Asibatsu. Kazuma has the most straightforward arc. She's in love with the childhood friend, but struggles with thoughts of seeing him in that way. Glasses Girl is really reserved when it comes to lewd stuff, but desires romance, and is dragged down constantly by being called ugly. Momoko sorta kinda starts a relationship with this one random guy, but it just doesn't click, and as it turns out, she doesn't feel any attraction to guys at all. Rather, she's attracted to girls, and struggles with the confusion brought about with that. Then there's the other two. Trigger warning, yikes topics incoming. Sugawara was groomed by a theater instructor into believing she had to bloom romantically as soon as she could so he could witness it. She's left traumatized from it, even if it takes her some time to realize that fact. And this one, who is a young writer who is asked to write lewd material and goes onto online chats in order to research it. And when she finds the user she's been talking to, she gets really persistent, really persistent. Yeah, it comes from her insecurity from being seen as immature, but just dial it back a little bit. Anyways, these 5 have unique experiences while going through this weird stage of their lives, and this anime weaves all their stories together. It's pretty good, and also, did I mention the opening's great? The opening's really good, guys!
Long live the king.
Chuubyou Gekihatsu Boy, or Delusion Dude. Going into this, I wasn't expecting much. I've only seen 2 anime that were created with Vocaloid songs as a source material. One has lots of varying opinions, lots of them bad, and the other doesn't have many people talking about it, so I can say whatever I want. Mikagura's anime adaptation was very bad. It focuses on the battles and Eruna's perviness so much that the serious moments just look like a joke. And honestly, the art style looks pretty creepy a lot of the time, and it's pretty disappointing when looking at the colors of the music videos. Okay, I'll stop there. Unlike the other two Vocanime, new name on the patent, there's only one Vocaloid song that's a source material song for this. Not to mention that song's not plot-driven, but character-driven. So I'm saying that there's not as much the anime has to hold itself to, and that lets it just have fun being what it is. Just a fun little show about this girl stuck in the Delusion Dude Club. I don't know what else to say besides I'm having fun. Having fun watching this guy yell, having fun watching this guy suck at gacha games, having fun watching this guy speak English, and most certainly having fun with this opening.
You crushed my sketches. Go away.
Jyoshikousei no Mudazukai, or Wasteful Lives of High School Girls. You ever watch an anime solely based off of its amazing opening? Well, here we are. This opening goes a mile a minute, it's super catchy, and the video is entertaining. So naturally I used watching this anime as an excuse to watch this opening as many times as possible, and it's pretty neat. It's all in the name, Wasteful Lives of High School Girls. Lives, girls, high school, wasteful, of. But it's one of those shows that has a fun cast of characters bouncing off each other, so it's not like there's no merit to be had here. Its comedy didn't get constant laughs out of me, but that probably wasn't its intention. It's down to earth, and I can enjoy some of the relaxed humor it has, such as when Baka's attempts at scary stories all fall flat to the point that the message notifications are left unread and you're left with nothing but the ringtone going off over and over. Or when this girl laments about the differences between her and her twin and wonders if she somehow stole her twin's life force. Somehow. Or when they try to sell Gamer Girl barnacle bras. Anyways, now I'm gonna go on a tangent about something that happens near the end of the series, so spoilers. A few episodes into the anime, I noticed that Wota was listening to Vocaloid songs and was impressed with the fact that you could actually hear the songs and see the PVs of her favorite producer. I got curious and looked it up, and it turns out that Teishi Tokupi is a real Vocaloid producer. Not just that, they're the actual person that created this series, so they literally wrote themselves into this anime. You'd think that'd end up being nothing but a self-satisfying thing, but it actually tells a story of inspiration. The character in the series used to represent the producer, Waseda, feels unmotivated and like no one actually cares about what he makes. He doesn't have that big a fan base and thinks that the small number means that he doesn't have any dedicated fans. However, we constantly see Wota listening to his music whenever she gets a chance. A new upload puts her in a good mood, and his music lifts her spirits when she's feeling down. She even goes out of her way to sing a cover of one of his songs, putting her heart and soul into it, and he's surprised to see that someone actually sung it. When they meet up, Waseda doesn't want to ruin the illusion that she has of him being some perfect human, when in truth he's just a homeroom teacher. He tries disguising himself, but decides to come clean and tell her the truth about who he is. He breaks that fantasy for her, and for himself in a sense. He's never had such a dedicated fan that looked up to him this much, so he could have easily kept her fooled for an easy ego boost. But he puts his real self out there and shows her that he's the boring homeroom teacher that no one paid much mind to. Wota is still inspired by his works just as much as she always was, and respects him as a person now. It helps him come to terms with his normalcy that he hated. Not to mention, this anime is the first that I've seen use the theme of being incredibly inspired by Vocaloid songs, and it does it really well. If you want more Vocaloid stuff, there's this channel called Breadbox I think you should really check out in the description. But tangent over. It's a pretty nice anime overall, with a nice little inspirational story and a legendary opening to boot. And that's all the anime I watched this year. I don't know if you even made it to the end of the video, but if you did, good job.